Markets ending the day in the green. Best day for stocks in 2 weeks, but still lower for the month so far. Joining us now is Sarah Malik, Nuveen Global Equity Chief Investment Officer, oversees more than $450 billion in assets. Quite a job, Sarah. It's good to have you. So what is this? Is this just a fall kind of seasonal slump that you think will sort of prove to be temporary and the stock market upswing and economic recovery will continue on the other side?
Generally, yes. September notoriously is one of the worst months for the equity markets. The good news for today was that we did see the S&P bounce off the 50-day moving average. But the bad news is that if you look at history, oftentimes it's the second half of December where you see a lot of that downside. We do think markets are still worried about a few key issues. One is the Delta variant, but we think it's peaking and moving behind us. The post-peak growth rate, though, is going to be a real issue for the markets because we have monetary policy that's moving from expansionary to contractionary. We have to worry about tapering and higher taxes, and getting your arms around that growth rate for earnings the economy is going to be key going forward. And for the rest of this month, we're going to have more drama in D.C. We have the debt ceiling, infrastructure negotiations, budget negotiations. But for us, the two keys for D.C. is watching tax rate increases, which we think will happen. And also on the downside, if there was a U.S. credit downgrade, that would be a negative. But we don't see that happening. What we do see going forward, though, is that strong manufacturing data and a strong consumer should drive the markets higher. And that is that about high single-digit earnings growth that we see for 2022, which should lead to a good market, not as strong as 2020 and 2021 returns, but still positive returns for the markets.
So given that we are facing some new headwinds that you laid out, even though you think the market is going to go higher, where do you want to be positioned? What types of stocks?
We like companies that have a few tailwinds for them. One is you need pricing power. We're seeing margins at almost peak levels. They're at some decade high level. So you need pricing power to continue to expand those margins. We like reopening plays. As Delta moves behind us, we think there will be a reopening. And then companies that can navigate these supply chain issues. We think that supply chain problems will actually be at their highest this quarter, and we should get better from here. So these are companies like Boeing, Cisco, which had its analyst today, TE Connectivity. All of these should have the ability and the cyclicality to have all those three tailwinds actually help them beat numbers in 2022.